working with him with bridling, and what I'm trying to get him to do is to be a willing participant in the bridling. Now he knows I got treats in my pocket. He's smelling them. So what I want to do is I want his head to stay down. I want him to not shy away from the bit. And what I'm going to do is I have these little treats, and I'm going to put it in my hand. I'm going to put it underneath the bit. Now I've already done steps like petting him, making sure that I can come over here and stick my fingers in his mouth, and he softens his mouth and he opens it up. I make sure that he's got no resistance to me handling him. Now he's smelling my treat because I got his treat in my hand. So I make sure that he's okay with me handling his muzzle way before I go ahead and start working on the bit. So what I'm going to do is I have a treat in my fingers here, and I'm going to put it underneath the bit, and I want him to take the bit. He's already doing it. That's awesome. So when I was doing this yesterday, there was a lot of resistance up and down, you know, and moving his head around, not wanting to take the bit, just trying to get to the treat. But I let him know that he's not going to get the treat until the bit goes in his mouth. And sometimes he would have his teeth on the bit or his mouth closed, and I'd have the treat in my hand on the outside of the bit, and until he decided to go ahead and take the bit, he would not get the treat. So he's playing with it in his mouth. He has a hard time figuring out how to chew it with the bit in his mouth because he's not used to having a treat and a bit in his mouth at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for him to finish the treat, because yesterday when I did it, the treat would fall out of his mouth. So it looks like he's done with it. So when I take it off too, I'm going to have my hand up here, and I don't want him to throw his head up. I want him to gently let the bit go. So he's starting to understand now. I'm going to bring him over here. I'm going to put the bit over here. I'm going to put the treat in my fingers again. I'm going to put it underneath, and I'm going to see if he's going to come and take the bit. There, he took the bit. I give him the treat. Now, first he was doing a whole lot of just trying to push the bit out of the way. I wish I would have videotaped that yesterday. So there was time yesterday too where I would go ahead and put my finger in his mouth to open his mouth after we played with the bit around his face, so that he could just get used to it being there and stop the resistance. And anytime his head would come up, I would keep it there by his muzzle until he dropped his head, even if it was 1/4 of an inch, and then I would take it away. So I never took it away if his head was going up. I only took it away when his head was going down, when he was thinking down. Good boy. So he keeps coming towards me here because he is being treat motivated right now. But I'm just letting him know that there's no more treats in my hand, and that treats are only going to come when he puts a bit in his mouth. I don't want to make him wrong for scoping me out for treats. I don't want to make him head shy. I'm just letting him know that there's not one available. So I'm going to see if he'll just gently let go of the bit. That's really nice. And then I'm going to repeat again, because I want this to become a pattern, that he knows that he's got to take that bit in order to get a treat. So there he's kind of playing with it. There, he put it in his mouth. Good job. And now it's just a matter of repetition. doing it until he's always thinking about, can I just get that bit in my mouth so I can have a treat? And I have no trouble doing the rest of the bit, you know. But right now, all I'm really concerned about is it going in his mouth gently with his permission, and then him releasing it gently without panicking or throwing his head up. Good boy. So he's still playing with the treat, so I'm not taking the bit out right now. And then after doing this for 4 to 7 sessions, then you know, I'll give a treat once in a while, or if he's having a hard time. But I want him to associate the bit with it. You know, it tastes good. It's fun to take it because he gets a treat. Last time. And these are hard treats, so he's having a hard time chewing on it, so I'm only giving him little pieces at a time. So I want him to come and take it. So he's trying to move the bit out of the way, but I'm just going, nope, nope, if you don't take it. Now he got it out of my hand there. I'm just going to bring it up here. I want him to come, see how he took a step towards me? I want him to think about taking the bit. He's not thinking about it right now. So he's just kind of playing with it, trying to get the bit out of the way again, but the bit's not going to go out of the way. So I'm just going to take it away from him again and bring it forward and see if he'll come and think more about taking it. So he's not going to get it until he takes the bit. There, he took the bit. I'll put the treat in his mouth. And we just got to do it long enough for it to become a pattern. So he just was experimenting there. How could he get around the bit to get to the treat? Well, he couldn't. So might as well take the bit first. And I just take my time.